What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Marsh Boys podcast. I'm Brian,
I'm Ryan.
and today we are joined by Josh of I'm gonna blank here, Suckle Outdoors down in Alabama. How you doing, Josh?
I'm doing good. Don't worry about the name blank. It's fine. I'm just getting
I
started too, so I just hopefully it becomes a household name one day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what the thought behind the page was, to grow and just get your name out there?
Really, it's really. I mean, I started doing it really for myself. I've been filming hunts for a long time, but it's literally just for my memories. And I was like, well, it's kind of getting to be the thing now. So I was like, well, I'll start putting a little bit out there and see if I can get a little growing. Started on YouTube and all that stuff, and actually done fairly well considered to what I thought I was going to be doing. I thought I'd get 200 or 300 views, and I'm up there in the tens and 20s, 30s even on
Yeah,
some of my videos. So I'm can't ask for anything else.
yeah. I've looked at a couple of YouTube videos. I think they're done really well, stuff like that. You got a decent starter at the subscriber count too, I'd say.
I'm getting there. It's I have a lot of videos to go and post and all that stuff, but the editing, I'm so strict on what I want to put out there and how I do it. I sit on them and I probably wait a little bit too long, and I even thought about getting somebody to edit it for me, but then it would just drive me crazy that I'm not in control of it.
Yeah, yeah. I got
Yeah,
you.
that's his big problem with it all.
Yeah, I do all the editing and everything for our video. Most of it. Ryan does some stuff, but
Yeah, sure.
Occasionally, but I can't sit there in front of the screen and do it for hours on end. It starts to drive me insane.
Yeah,
and
it's
he's way too meticulous for that.
I am. I'll say a word on camera or something like I got to figure out how to edit that out because I sound like cornbread.
Yeah, yeah. I've learned through the last couple of years we've been doing this. I just like, so if I get to record a TikTok where I do something with the goose calls or we're fishing or whatnot, like I'll stumble through a sentence, and it used to bother me so bad, but now it's like whatever, just
Yeah,
roll through it.
People don't know if you don't pay attention to it. People don't even notice
Yeah.
it, except municipal. I'll notice
yes,
that every single time.
Anyway,
yeah.
so Josh, how now getting into what we mainly want to talk about today is you run Mountain Cursor Squirrel Dogs, which you told us about beforehand. How did you get into that? Well, let's do the whole thing. How did you get into hunting, fishing, everything like that? Was it something you were born into? Something you met or you found through a buddy? How'd you get into it?
Well, I guess it's my granddad. I'm kind of traditional in the way I started, and but just raised up in it. I don't think I was really raised into it. Uh, my granddad was a big time cow farmer, just in a bunch of wars. Came home and did a little farm around the house, and I was always ran rabbit dogs, stuff like that. My dad, on the other hand, was a salesman for a food company, white collar, tie, shirt, all the whole deal. Big time golfer. If I didn't golf, I didn't never see my dad because that's where he was on the golf course 24/7. It didn't matter if it was 20 degrees or 200 degrees, he was on the golf course. So I spent a lot of time on the golf course. I got good at it, but what I did, I'd go fishing in the morning at those country club ponds. Good fishing, by the way.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
you learn a lot from that. And then it started heating up. I'd go golfing for the rest of the day. And then, of course, my sister was the lifeguard at the pool. And I'd go swimming when it got too hot to play golf or go fishing. So I did that. But my granddad taught me a lot in the short time he was here about hunting. And he took me fishing and all that stuff. And then we never had any land. We always lived in the city. So my dad luckily had some friends that were big into hunting, had a little bit of land, and they would let me go tag along with them. So I kind of got into deer hunting a pretty good bit, uh, but squirrel hunt was always my favorite. I was in the city limits for my birthday and Christmas. All I asked for was bird feeders and squirrel feeders. And my mom was like, "Yeah, he likes watching birds," and the whole time I'm shooting a big red rider out
yeah.
the bathroom window and the screen. She's like, "Why are these holes in my screen for?" I don't know. So I was rough on the neighborhood squirrels and the red birds and all that stuff. But that all that taught me was how to hide myself better, and I taught myself pretty much. And then my dad would take me, but I never seen my dad kill one animal. I don't even think even dove hunting. I think he's just got a soft spot for animals. Uh,
Gotcha.
so I don't know, but high school I had buddies that really got into it. Never went duck hunting. I see y'all like to, big duck hunters and
Yeah,
goose and
ducks
all
and
that
geese
stuff.
are a big thing.
Yeah. Where I was raised in North Mississippi, we were right off the flyway on Mississippi River. And there'd be so many ducks while you're deer hunting, you couldn't hear yourself think. All the snows and all that stuff, just
Oh yeah.
getting after it. And it never occurred to me to even try to hunt them. So I've always deer hunted and all that stuff. But uh, as far as the dogs go, my brother took me to a deer hunt one time in South Mississippi around Scuba, Mississippi. I'm sure y'all don't know where that is, but uh, some guys came in. They're like, "We got some pretty good coon dogs. Have you ever been?" I think I was 13, 14 years old at the time. Uh, I said, "No." I said, "I'll go with y'all." And I think both of those dogs were walkers, and they were both Grand Night champions. And so I went with them, and they drug me across every thicket and swamp in South Mississippi. And we got to the tree, and I think there was 3 or 4 coons in that one tree. And I shot 2 of them out, and I had blood in my eyes, as they say. And they didn't tell me till after, if you shoot it, you got to carry it out. So here I am, 12, 13 years old, and I got coons just all on my back, just complaining all through the thickets. My big brother's like, "Quit being a wuss, come on, let's go. You killed them, you got to tote them out, and you got to skin them." And we end up eating those dang raccoons.
I was just about to ask
Yeah,
that if you ate them or not.
yeah. We if we gonna kill it, we gonna eat it. So it's how we get raised around here. And
What it tastes like.
uh, I don't know the right. Chewing on the tire. Yeah.
How did you guys cook it or did your mom cook it?
No, we cooked it there at the deer camp, and they cooked it like a roast, like your Sunday roast
Oh.
potatoes and everything, and it was decently tender and all that stuff, but I could tell it wasn't Mama's roast on Sunday,
Yeah.
so it was rough. I was like, I've had it, I'm done with that. I'm not gonna do that no more. I'll give them away if I ever do it again.
Hmm.
Uh,
Some people love it, but
yeah,
I can't
now,
work up the nerve. I know we've told the story on here a million times.
I've tried.
I can't work up the nerve to eat it, especially not around here.
oh yeah, I've ate possums. Uh,
Possum's good. I like possum.
I won't eat a possum anymore. I went coon hunting one night, and a buddy had some cow pastures, and he had a dead cow there, uh, and excuse the
Oh, I
graphic
already
and
know
all
where it's
that stuff.
going.
But as soon as we got up to that dead cow, we smelled it before we saw it, and we had my headlight shined on it. Said, "Man, so what's that moving?" And then sure enough, out of that cow's stomach crawls just a disgusting bloody possum. And we just ran out of there like we just seen the Blair Witch. You know, we were out of there. I was like, I'm never messing with those disgusting critters again. Uh,
Yeah, I know. So like around here, some people get into trapping. We got a lot of horse farms around here, and a lot of people get into trapping, get their trapping license to trap the possums out of the horse pasture fields.
oh yeah, yeah. They carry a bunch of diseases. They get in the horse feed and all that stuff, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, on a more appetizing note, what do you do with the squirrels? What's your favorite recipe with the squirrels? Because I see you've gotten more squirrels in I think your most recent YouTube squirrel video than I think I ever have in my life.
Yeah. Well, there's some in the books are ready to load up that 12, 15, 20 squirrels that I've gotten. And well, we just skin them out, and if they're small, we use those. We call those fryer squirrels. It's literally like a chicken wing you get at Buffalo Wild Wings, just
Hmm.
a lot less chemicals, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But just you butter them up if you can soak them in buttermilk like you would just about any wild game. Fry them up. They're pretty good like that. It's just like a chicken wing. You can season them up, hot, spicy, all that good stuff. And then for the bigger ones that are tougher, boil them down and cook them like a chicken and dumpling. Just call them squirrel dumplings. So I
Yeah.
mean that's the two easiest ways to do it.
Now,
Yeah.
are you guys shooting fox squirrels down there or eastern grays?
Most of them are grays. You really have to, at least in Alabama where I'm at, you really have to search for a fox squirrel. Uh,
Okay.
I've killed a bunch in Mississippi around my buddies' cow farms and pastures and all that stuff where they live. But over here in these pine thickets in Alabama, it's nothing but gray squirrels. So
I got you.
I've got actually one fox squirrel mounted from my first squirrel dog. But other than that, I've been trying to find some, but really hadn't got out and ventured out too far from here since I've had kids, pretty much.
So you got into running dogs with coonhounds, if I'm
Yep.
assuming correctly. How
Yeah.
did you or how long did you run coonhounds for? And what did you run?
Well, like I said, I went on that one hunt and I fell in love with it. Right. Of course, I wasn't old enough to drive, hold a job, any of that kind of stuff. So I was kind of like, well, I'll stick with the deer hunting. When I got to 18 or 19 years old, I had a pretty good job, still living with mom and dad, just living the life. Uh, I found I don't know if y'all had this up there. It's called Trade Winds. It's just
I don't think so.
it was Facebook Marketplace before Facebook Marketplace. You could go to a gas station and they have a little thing like a newspaper. You'd pull it out and it would just say, "Hey, I got a TV for sale over here. I got a
Ah,
pair of
okay.
rims." It's just that kind of deal. And there would be a section in there for livestock and animals. And a guy had a advertisement for some black and tan coon dogs, and I was like, "Well, it's only 200 or $300." I was like, I got a good backyard. I'll buy a pen, do all that kind of stuff. So I ended up buying my first black and tan. Called him Rebel, and me and him did not know what we were doing. I
That's a
expected
good
that,
combo.
I expected them to do what I saw those Grand Night champions do at
Yeah.
6 months old, and I had no way of knowing what I was doing. Nobody around me to teach me how a dog works or how a tree dog works. I can make a dog sit and stay and load up and all that stuff at the house with any old lap dog. I can make a Shih Tzu do that if I need to, but making a coon dog tree a coon a half a mile away and stay there is a whole different ball game. So back to what I was saying earlier, where the red firm grows taught me a lot. Just watching that video of that kid dragging that tail through, the over the river and through the woods and around the house and everything like that. And of course, I lived in the city, so my neighbors absolutely hated me because
Oh,
I
you
got
had this dog in the city.
I
Oh
had him in the
man.
middle of the city
Oh, a hound
in
dog.
Mississippi, and he had a big bald mouth too. He was big old black and tan, and I think he come off a ace, set him up ace, but uh, me and him learned as we went. He ended up treeing a bunch of coons for me. I ended up losing them in the woods one time, and that was back before I really knew about tracking collars, that kind of stuff. I knew the old tracking the beeper style,
That's
but
what I ran.
yeah, I never had those. All I had was a mag light, a leash, and I finally got me a shock collar, but I mean that was way later. And then I couldn't find him, couldn't get him. So I ended up losing my first dog, and I went back and put jackets out and everything like that, but just couldn't get him. But did that, and after him, I ended up buying blue ticks and red bones and walkers, and started getting the competition world in PKC and a little bit of UKC as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
we ran the UKC deals. I never did any of the entering with it. My cousin did.
yeah, it's fun, but I was young and I had a bunch of old timers around me that came to the same club every Tuesday or Thursday, and
Yeah.
they knew the game, and they wanted to win their little $25, $30 pots, and wanted their dog to be the best in that area.
Every old timer wants a Grand Night champion.
Yeah, and I would go to competition hunts, and I would sit there and watch a grown man lie about a knot on the side of a tree and argue to death that it was a coon. And I'm like, that's just an oak tree. That's just not on the side of the tree. You can't convince me otherwise. And they'd get fighting mad, and it left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I got out of it and started just pleasure hunting again. And then of course life happens, and I had to start moving around a little bit. Went to Louisiana, and it's like I ain't taking these dogs to Louisiana. And then I had that red bone was my last coon dog I had. Uh, Latham's boy named Sue. Like I said, he got in a fight with my blue tick and broke his back leg, and I had to get it cut off. And I ended up selling him for a little bit of nothing. Got out of it. Uh, did my Louisiana thing for a little bit, and then when I came back, I moved back to Alabama, and I work for the railroad now since 2012. Once I did that, I was like, well, I got a decent house, decent backyard. I was like, I want to look into a squirrel dog. Squirrel hunting's always been my thing. It's what a lot of us broke our cut our teeth on around here.
That's what
Uh,
I did.
yeah,
That was my first love with squirrel hunting.
yeah. To me, if you're younger or you can go in the squirrel woods and be quiet and kill a mess of squirrels and outsmart a squirrel around here, you can outsmart a turkey or a deer or just about anything if you can hide well enough from them.
Fair
Uh,
enough.
in my thinking, so I I, I almost bought a feist. Uh, so it could be small. I could travel with it. It could, be in the front seat. It could sleep with me and all that kind of stuff. But in the back of my mind, I was still thinking coon dog. I was like,
Okay.
if I put a feist out there, is it going to be able to handle a coon? Because it's I know me, and I'm gonna try to put it on the coon and see if it'll do it.
Yeah.
So I ended up finding mountain curs, and I love their colors, love their build. They were medium sized dog. They're not not huge,
Yeah.
40 pounds, 50 pounds at the most if you get a sure enough big one, but big enough to hold its own against a coon and not get carried off by a coyote or something like that.
Mm,
Because we've had
Yeah.
a lot of stories like that around here. Ended up buying my first one from a guy up in North Mississippi. And same thing with my first coon dog. I had no idea what I was doing, but I did know a little bit more about tree work and how to get them on the tree and make them stay a little bit. But I did not expect this dog to be such a natural. How well bred these squirrel dogs are these days. I mean, as soon as they come out the womb, it's they're almost a squirrel dog,
Wow.
and that's what a lot of people expect. But a lot of people still don't put the extra work into their dog. As me being, I've sold a bunch of puppies, and they think in a week's time that dog's going to be trans squirrels and a tailgate full of them. I said, there's a lot more to that than just putting them on the tailgate. You got to do
yeah.
a lot more stuff with them. Uh,
So, being tree dwelling creatures, how similar was the overlap between the coon dogs and the squirrel dogs for you,
but
training them and all that?
very similar as far as the tree work, the track and train. Uh, to me, they're the best dogs as far as listening. A hound dog's hard headed. A mountain cur just like talking to your lab or anything like that. It's snap my fingers and my dog will be at my feet. Uh, Sitting command, stay command, load up, riding this. She'll sleep with me, or any of them dogs will sleep with me out there, and can literally as soon as I drop that tailgate, it's a whole light switch. Uh, but it like I said, it just goes back to them being more natural than a coon dog, from what I've seen. Uh, there's going to be a lot of arguments with that, I would say, uh, but from what I've seen, a cur dog is just a lot easier going dog, a lot less hard headed. It's just in their blood to me.
Yeah. And I've heard a lot with the mountain curs. I've never been around one. I believe what my cousin has was a treeing cur,
Yep.
and she was very hard headed, very ignorant, but to the point of the cur dogs, very low profile, a lot smaller than a walker, a lot smaller than a walker and a blue tick, smaller than a red bone. Just, but yeah, like I said, I know with being having a little bit of experience with the treeing cur, it was just a more ignorant dog that all that dog was focused on was running coons. It
Yep.
wasn't a house dog. It wasn't a family dog. It was a hunting dog through and through. And the more and more I hear about these mountain curs, it seems like they're kind of they very much are so a hunting dog, but they're an easier going hunting dog.
Yes. Yes. When I had coon dogs, I would not let anybody touch my coon dogs.
Yeah.
Let them pet them. They'd in the pen. The only time they was out of the pen is we was working, tracking coons, and I was so focused because that's what somebody told me. Uh, but then I realized that you're breaking that connection with them.
Yeah.
The closer you are to them, let them ride in the truck, let them ride in the couch, let them get used to you, and every
Mm,
sense that you have. Every time you look at something, they know what it is. They know how to read you. You know how to read them. Every sound they make, every bark they make. My wife still laughs because my dog can be out there in the backyard, and I can say, RJ's barking at a snake right now, and she'll look at me crazy. Like, what do you mean? How do you know he's barking at a snake? We're in the living room eating dinner or whatever. And I said, you hear him? He's saying, snake, 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 snake. And she's like, you're redneck. What are you talking about? And I'll go out there, and sure enough, he'll be barking at a chicken snake or a king snake or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll bring my boy up there and I'm like, hey, listen to the dogs. They'll tell you what they're barking at if you just know how to listen to them.
The
So
king snakes are the good ones, right?
that's right. Yeah, we
Oh,
want them
that's
around.
the coral snakes are the bad are the venomous ones.
Yeah,
You
that's
guys get any of them up there?
no, I think they're a little bit further south towards Florida.
Yeah, South Texas,
Yeah,
Eastern Louisiana, stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So, but man, I love a cur dog. If I never go squirrel hunting another day with a dog, I will always own original mountain curs, just as a pet. You know, they're puppies and they might tear up a little bit of stuff just like any other dog, but they are the best, people dog to me.
Yeah, and that's another thing I've heard is the original mountain cur versus like a mixed mountain cur. So if I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, but there's only a handful of families that raise original mountain curs in that Alabama, Arkansas, Missouri area.
Yeah. They're starting to get a lot more popular, but you got to be careful because they will throw some other stuff in there. A tree and walker or some kind of black and tan or a cur is a cur. By definition of a cur, it's a mix of every house dog you could ever think of.
Okay.
That's what they originally came from is from the mountains of Appalachia, just a house dog that was in the front yard that would go treat bears and coons and squirrels, and it was the family dog that put dinner on the table every night. But I don't know what it is about the original and versus the treeing and all that stuff. Maybe it's what they breed them with, but I'll never own anything but original mountain cur.
I got you. So what was when you were first looking into? That's right. You said the coon dog. So was there any interest in a feist at all, or it was because of your coon dog background? It was the mountain cur is what you wanted.
Well, when I saw the feist, I liked them, but I started looking at different traits. Right, feist are really off of sight more
Okay.
than winding or more than tracking and trailing. So that goes back to my what I'm used to of the coon dog hunting. I was like, how does that work? I'm used to a dog putting his nose to the ground or putting his head up and
Yeah.
finding them.
Hmm.
Because I was like, squirrels might be moving that morning or that late afternoon, and they might have been walking through there an hour earlier. If I got a scent dog versus a sight dog, I'm better off. So that's I looked into that. So that was a con for the feist. And then I think at the time of just I really wanted a squirrel dog so bad. I think the original mountain cur was available to me a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And then my roommate at the time, the he was best friends with the dad that owned these squirrel dogs. He's like, oh man, you hit the jackpot. I know the exact right person you need to go to. And he's like, I'm actually going home this weekend. I can pick you one up. I said, here's my money. Bring him back to me.
So
Uh,
you got a squirrel dog from a guy that bred mountain curs for squirrels.
yes, that's
Okay.
all. And he has a training pin, and he is straight up a squirrel dog man.
Yeah, I
Uh,
guess you really did hit the jackpot on that one. That was
yeah,
right place, right time.
I did. And he since it was him, when I got the dog back, I worked with him a little bit, slept with him every night, and got my bond with him. And I sent him back to him to train him. So he's got like an acre pen, a half acre pen that they can train puppies in that they can't get out, and it's got feeders everywhere, and kind of get them familiar with it. Uh, it worked. I don't think he needed it, but being my first dog and knowing what I came from in the coon dog world, I was like, I'm not dealing with this
If it's
right now.
available to you, you were going
Yeah,
to take it.
I was like,
Yeah.
I got the money for it. Here's my money. Here's a bag of dog food. I'll come pick him up in a month. See what you can do with him. And I wasn't expecting the dog to be finished either. I just wanted to get him his feet wet and
Yeah.
started. So
Yeah.
that's what
Absolutely.
I ended up doing. He ended up being a really good dog. And then, of course, if you got one dog, you got to have two dogs. So I was like, he's got to have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
So that's before we had kids. Me and my wife, I was like, I'm going to get this other dog, and we went up there to North Mississippi and picked her up off uh, another line because I was like, I'll end up having puppies. I want
Hmm.
puppies off him really, and ended up having puppies, 12 puppies, and I think at the time I was in a single 2 bedroom apartment.
Oh man.
Well, it was a house. It was a house out of backyard. but it was rough, man. I had there was
I could imagine.
I just
and at the
pictured a
time,
tiny apartment and your neighbors screaming at you from all those
oh
dogs
yeah,
barking.
it was rough. Uh, and then at the time when Shadow had puppies, those 12 puppies, my wife was 8 months, 8.5 months pregnant with our firstborn.
How much did she want to kill you all the time?
Oh yeah. And in the middle of all that, we were trying to move into our bigger house.
Oh my
So it
god.
was it was a trip and a hassle. It was my landlord when she came in, she's like, "What in the world happened in here? Just I'll pay for whatever. Just
Yeah,
let me do this. Let me get this out of here." But it was 12 puppies and a brand new kid, and house and wife, and all that stuff hit me all at one time. But I ended up. It took me forever to sell those dogs. All those
that's what I
12.
was gonna ask.
Yeah, it because if you're not known in the squirrel dog world,
That's exactly what I was
you
gonna
know,
bring up. Yeah. Okay.
which kills me because my dogs speak for themselves. If you watch my
Absolutely.
videos, you went hunting with me, but I don't go promote them on Facebook and
Hmm.
post every tailgate picture and brag on my dogs. If you want to see my dogs, come hunt with me. I'll show
Yeah.
you and they might hunt good, they might not, but you're gonna see at least a good handle on a dog and a good head on a dog. So I just don't promote them that much. And I was fresh starting. I was like, well, we'll try it, and I ended up giving some to some kids that wanted to get into it, and sold a few. And I've had some repeat customers after that first litter. They said these are the best dogs I've ever owned. I'll never own another one. Anytime you ever have a litter, just call me and I'll get one. So and
So
that's
you're doing that as a side hustle now.
yeah. Well, I don't even like calling it a side hustle because some of those puppies went to what I call puppy farms. And it's just guys just breeding dogs for the line. They're not hunting them. They're keeping them chained up. They're not,
Yeah.
Hmm.
they're like, well, I'll message them. How's that pup doing? Oh, he's behind the barn over there. I'm working too fast and 10 other dogs right now. I hadn't really got to do anything with them. Said you've had the dog for 2 years.
Yeah.
Give them back or give them another chance because you're hurting me and hurting the dog.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, and I'm not out here trying to make my name for my puppies anyways because I hope I never have another litter, to be honest. Puppies are a pain in the tail.
Oh, was it just? Did you just have the one litter?
No, I ended up buying another dog against my wife's uh,
Better
wishes.
judgment.
Yeah, she was like, "Where are you going?" I said, "I got to go drive, make a 6 hour drive. I got to go see a man about a dog." He said, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Bye." And I came back and seven hundred
Forgiveness is
Yeah.
dollars.
easier to ask for than permission.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All day later, I came back home at dark, $700 less, with a puppy, and she was mad. We got kids, dogs, house.
Oh,
We just brought a new dog in the house. I was like, yeah, but I had to have this one. This one right here was special to me.
Now,
And
what do you look for in a female? I'm assuming you bought another female dog.
I did.
What do you look for in a female?
Uh, really don't know. As far as I haven't really got to. Every time I bought a dog, it's kind of been the last of the litter. I've been a kind of a short selection, but I still look at the head. I look at the ears, how long they are, if they come close to the nose. But it's really just how she acts.
Okay.
The gait. Look at the back feet if they're not spread apart. If everything's lined up good. She's got a good flat top on her head. I'm good with that. So
Now, is this after you know they've come from a good line of dogs, or is this sight unseen?
I got to know came from some good dogs.
Okay.
Because that's where it all starts is in the blood.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
you got to make sure that it's in their blood, and then if they have that base, you can do anything you want to after that. It's all what you put in the dog after that,
Hmm.
and that's what I try to get people to understand when they get a puppy from me. Yeah, he's got the good blood, and you see all these pictures, and I got some rings and trophies from mine, uh, but half of that's me. Half of
Yeah.
that owner, just like a duck dog or anything like that. You got to get them there. They can't do it all on their own.
yeah. Instinct's only going to take you so far.
yeah, they got to be able to hold that tree, and they got to be able to do all this other stuff. And so, getting people to understand that, or actually putting the time into the dog, is where I've had seen the biggest issue.
What would you now? Do you start your puppies before you sell them?
I do not. Most of the time, because I have such a big litter, I'm just trying to get rid of dogs. And most of the time, they've been accidental breeding. Uh, Not saying that they're crossed or anything. It's just I didn't expect them to have puppies. I didn't keep them apart
Gotcha.
enough.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I got 7, 8, 10, 12 puppies on the ground. I'm like, oh my god, here we go again. Uh, and so I got to get them
Wife's
all shot.
yelling, kids screaming. Well,
Oh,
kids probably happy when the puppies come out.
oh, they love it. They keep them busy. Uh, but I travel for work, so I have
Oh
10
yeah.
puppies in the backyard screaming, and I live in town right now, and they have a HOA pretty much.
Ugh.
So I have spent some money on fines for noise complaints.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
Oh man.
I've been in court, and the judge said, it says here you got some dogs that bark. Do your dogs bark? I said, yeah, they're dogs. They bark. He said, all right, guilty. Go pay the go pay the fine.
Oh my god, they didn't even let you get a word in?
They
I'm
didn't
not
let me.
laughing at you. I'm laughing at how
Oh,
stupid that
I
Oh,
hate
sounds.
HOAs. You're
it
gonna
was
catch me dead in an HOA.
yeah. Well, I don't. It's one of those HOAs that they don't care about your grass and all that stuff. It's like you pay money for them and they get the sign at the road, flowers and all that stuff, looking pretty.
Oh, good
So it
lord.
ain't that strict, but it's. I'm living with a bunch of Karens over here.
God. And I wanted to ask you about the starting the puppies deal because I want to know. I know with a coon dog, the dog's got to have a good nose, and depending on when you're hunting, and we all hunted at night, so the eyes, we were more focused on the dog's nose than anything, and if the dog would stay treed. With a squirrel dog, what is the most important factor? Now, with you running cur dogs, I'm assuming the nose, but how close to with a squirrel hunting dog are the eyes to that, or the ears, whichever one?
Uh, I think nose being number one, and then I would say eyes. If that's is that your question?
Yeah,
Yep. I would say eyes because uh, if that squirrel dog's 300 feet yards away, right, and that squirrel timbers out is what we call it, which means the squirrel has jumped from another tree and they're running down into the woods or whatever. If your dog's got good eyes and he knows what he's doing and he's looking up, he'll timber that squirrel out. So he'll follow that squirrel along, and then whenever that squirrel stops, gets to the nest or gets to the hole, your dog will still be there. He'll be at that tree and not at the original tree. So you're not walking into original tree and just there's nothing in there, and then you're like, "What the heck is going on with my dog?"
yeah.
He's actually timbered. Competition world, they do not want that at all.
They want you to stay put,
It don't matter if it's
even if the squirrel timbers, huh?
if the squirrel timbers. It don't matter if it's a light pole. There ain't no squirrel up there. They want that dog to stay there, and I get it.
That seems counterproductive.
Well, it's the way it's judged and the way the point system is when it comes to competition hunting. If you're walking up to a tree, let's say, and you're with your cast, you're with a group of guys, and you got a judge there. Your dog is at a tree, and that squirrel jumps out. Maybe you didn't see the squirrel, but the dog did, and that dog leaves that tree and still going, and goes 30 feet or more away. Uh, that judge will minus you those points
Hmm.
because your dog moved, and that's aggravating in the squirrel dog world. Coon hunting, they're not gonna go that far. Coon can't jump from tree to tree to tree to tree, but a squirrel can, and that will
Yeah, I was
that
gonna
will mess
say.
you up.
So they kind of do the same scoring as a coon dog. You're gonna get your do squirrel dogs strike, or
No,
are they
they
kind of
don't.
mouthy?
No, they are once they bark, they're at the tree.
Okay, so when you first hear, it's not like a coon dog where you can kind of tell. Okay, they're on a hot track, they're on a colder track. When you hear a squirrel dog, they're on that tree, ready for you to get there.
That's it. Yep. And if what we call a first bark dog, if you have a first bark dog at a tree in a competition, you will win just about 99% of your hunts.
Is
If you
that
know as soon as he barks, you know that dog is not going to move at all, no matter what. You can tree your dog and you'll basically win just about every hunt. But it's hard to have a dog like that.
The thing I don't understand is so you either have a competition squirrel hunting dog or you have an actual squirrel hunting dog. You can't have both because if you take a competition squirrel hunting dog and all he does is stop at the first tree, that's totally useless if you're out going and hunting, right?
Yeah,
Like you can't have both in the same dog.
it's very rare that you do, and I've got lucky with my dogs. Put them in a few competitions uh, where we've won some. Being a meat dog is what we call it. You got a competition dog and a meat dog. Meat dog means
Gotcha.
you're gonna bring home squirrels. Competition means you're gonna bring home rings or trophies or whatever. Uh, you can get it if the squirrels will stay tight, which means they're not gonna timber out. You can win those hunts all day because you have a meat dog and that squirrel's not gonna move.
Yeah.
Uh, there's a lot of if I were to go buy a dog, a grown dog that's trained and ready, that's probably one of the questions I would ask. Is this a meat dog or is this a competition style dog? Because that's going to tell me a lot. When
And
it,
you said you look more for the meat dogs.
yeah, I mean, I got kids and I don't get to travel and go to all these hunts like I wish I could.
Yeah.
Maybe when my boy gets a little bit older, we might get into that, let him get his own dog and start that. But uh, to me, it's just I like to take kids and people, and I don't want to drive an hour or 2 hours to go to a bunch of trees that ain't got no
Yeah.
squirrel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
You want to take your dog out and kill squirrels.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I want them to work for me. I like a working dog, and that's something my wife does not get. She's like, "Why do you got these dogs?" She's got a corgi, and I'm like, "That dog don't do nothing for me. We don't have no
You could
cows.
you
It's
could
a
you
herding
could
dog."
you could send them in a groundhog hole if you really
Yeah,
wanted to.
yeah, for sure. Uh, So I was like, I want a working dog and a house dog.
Yeah.
These are perfect dogs for it.
And I don't know if you touched on this before. How do the mountain dogs veer on the side of being a house dog, pet dog?
So far, the best. I'd rather have it than that corgi or lab or anything. Uh,
They laid back, kind of.
if I could take you upstairs, I would show you a laid back mountain cur. She is my oldest female shadow is probably laid on top of one of my kids right now, passed out snoring, watching TV. So yeah, it's like I said, I'll never own anything but a mountain cur just because they're so well mannered. But then again, I put a lot of time into my dogs as
Oh
far, as
yeah,
far
yeah.
as manners as well. They know what to expect and what to expect out of me, and I know what to expect out of them. So I love them. I don't want anything else. No chihuahuas, no corgis.
You don't want a tree and chihuahua,
No.
first of its kind.
Yeah.
Sound like you got personal beef with this corgi.
Yeah. He don't like me and I don't like him. He's Corgi apparently is a one person dog and his person is his mama. And I can stand it because I love dogs and I want to pet him. And I'm just chump change to him. I'm like,
So with your kids, um, how is it that your boy? Because I've seen a bunch of YouTube videos, and you take your boy out a lot, right?
yeah, oh yeah,
How cool is it that he's kind of taken to this?
man, it's dream come true. He's big into baseball. Tonight's the only night we couldn't do it because he's got baseball and he does basketball and all that stuff. We went fishing the other day. Killed his first. He didn't kill his first turkey. He was with me. I killed my turkey the other day, and he was with me, and he got to experience that. But I can't. I don't even know if there's words to describe how happy I am that he is wanting to come along with me. For one thing, he woke me up one morning and said, "Dad," he said, "we ain't got no baseball, no basketball today. Can we go hunting?" And I jumped out of bed. I said, "Let's go." And we drove 2 hours and we went. I think that's where some of those videos came from. And he's getting to where he's been enough that he knows what to do. He'll walk up to a tree and he'll like, "I'll stand right here, Dad. You stand over there." He'll tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. And he'll say, "I'm gonna go to this side. I'm gonna shake this vine. You watch." And then I'll be like, "All right, well, I'll stand here, you know, or I'll shake the vine and you watch for me." And that joker will spot them squirrels way better than I can. I can still hear him when I close my eyes. "There he is, Dad. There he is." I'll always remember every time that, "There he is, Dad. There he is." And that means I just need to start looking up, and there's a squirrel there. So it means a lot to me, and I'm so glad that he's getting into it and asking me about it. I hadn't really pushed him. He's 8 years old, and I hadn't really. You're going today. You're going fishing. You're doing hunting.
Yeah.
If you want to go, come on.
It seems like I said it. Well, not that this. I'm sure not that this makes a difference to you, but it seems like he is out there to enjoy hunting, running dogs, doing that instead of just being out there to hang out with you.
Yeah,
Like I said, not that that makes a difference, but it's got to be a little cooler noticing that he's taking his own into it.
yeah, it big time, and he's wanting to get his own gun, which I got him a 410, but he's like, I'm ready for a 12 gauge. I said, no, you're not.
I said that at 10 years old. I can tell him I was not ready for a 12 gauge.
Yeah,
I learned real quick.
I even shoot vanillas. I'm like, man, it's still, even with that spring in there and that easy recoil,
It
it's
still
still
might
gonna
be a
hit you,
lot, yeah.
for a backflip, even a 7.5 shot or something like that. So
Have you seen? So there's a video that came out a couple of years ago. There's this guy. It had to be his dad. He's filming his son running out to shoot a turkey. He grabs the 12 gauge and he runs up to this hedgerow, and it looks like a hill that's going up. He's running up the hill, he gets to the hedgerow, and then there's these two toms on the backside of the hedgerow in another part of the field. And he's struggling to line the gun up, struggling. He finally gets it. He pulls the trigger. The two turkeys fly away. He blows back. The gun does a 360 in the air, and the dad is just howling.
oh yeah, I think I have seen that. It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, that would be me. That'd probably be me when I was little.
Yeah.
Yeah, him too. I
That's a
I
point for that it's in the blood too with the people then, isn't it? If you weren't pushing your son and he's trying to pick it up like that.
Oh yeah, it's way too heavy for him. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
tried turkey sticks and I've tried everything, and I was like, all right, well here's a little 410. He can finally hold it up pretty good. It's got a short stock on it, single shot. We make sure everything's safe. Let him go. So he just treated or killed his first two squirrels by himself with his own gun. So I'm waiting to post that video up, but as soon as he got it in his hand, he's like, I want this one on my wall. I
That's
said,
cool.
I said all right. I said, he said, when we get home, you're gonna put this one on my wall. I said, buddy, there's some steps we got to
Yeah.
do.
He want to take
Put
you
it
a
on the
10 penny
wall.
nail, just nail it to the
Yeah,
wall.
I was like,
I mean,
we
you
got to get
can, but you're not going to get very long out of it.
your mama's gonna be really upset. We messed up the carpet and messed up the wall, and it now smells really
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, yeah. So what's funny about that is when I first like I said, my favorite thing to do when I was younger was squirrel hunt. I didn't kill a squirrel. I was 16 because Dad would take me out just to take me out,
Oh yeah,
and that's what really drove it home for me. But when I got my driver's license, I'd go every day after school, every day after I got done working, during the season. And when I would shoot my mom used to get so mad. I'd shoot the squirrels, and I knew nothing about it. I'd cut the tail off, and I would take the shotgun shell that I shot it with, fill it with silicone, and stick the tail in it. Well, little did I know that that hair would eventually fall off because I didn't skin the tail. I didn't flesh it or anything. So in about 2 months' time, when it got to like July, or
oh man,
4 months, when it got to July, all I had was a little rat tail in my room.
yeah.
Oh, my mom used to flip out about that.
Did it stink?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. The first one started stinking, and then the rest of them went. I haven't done it since.
yeah. I still got my first original squirrel tail that I killed when I was 6 or 7 years old, somewhere in a jar. And
In a jar.
yeah, I showed my wife. She's like, "What is that?" I said, "This is my first squirrel tail." She said, "Throw it away." I said, "No." I was like, "It's 35 years old now, or whatever it is." I was like, "I've held it this long. It's
Yeah.
been
What's it in? Alcohol?
no, it's just in a jar."
Oh,
I
don't
would.
open the lid. Don't take the lid off. Don't
Yeah,
ever take the lid off.
35 years of stank.
Yeah,
Whoo!
yeah. So I see the turkey above your head. Turkey season, I'm assuming, is in full swing down there.
Oh yeah,
And
turkeys everywhere around here.
so I gotta ask because if you talk to a guy from Alabama, he is going to tell you that Alabama is the hardest state to shoot a turkey in. Is Alabama the hardest state to shoot a turkey in?
I'm gonna say without a doubt. Well, yes.
Because if you ask a guy from Mississippi, he's going to tell you Mississippi is the hardest state to shoot a turkey in.
Well, I was raised in Mississippi, right? Uh, Grew up. I didn't grow up turkey hunting. I did those. That's another thing I did completely on my own, all that kind of stuff, and learn myself. Uh, But now that I've been in Alabama hunting public grounds, I'm gonna say Alabama's probably the roughest.
Is that now when you look at the two states, is that because of number of turkeys or pressure?
Uh, Pressure and terrain.
Terrain?
Mississippi, I hunted. You got the Delta up there, but I hunted ridge tops. Uh, but it wasn't no bad ridges. I mean, you're gonna be huffing and puffing when you got to the top of it, but it wasn't just straight up and down. It was something.
You had a saddle on top.
Yeah, you had something that you can get across, and you can actually get up there and hunt a little bit, and you could slide down one of them and go up the other side, no problem. Alabama over here, on the other hand, it is you're going to be belly crawling up it. I mean, you're going to be army crawling up the side of a hill, and when you go down it, you're going to have to put your pad down and slide down it like it's a playground or something like that. It's
So you're saying it's up and down. There's no flat tops on top of the hills in Alabama.
Nope. There might be a flat spot, but it's 30 yards, 40 yards wide. And you're like, well, the turkeys are going to be up there, or they're going to be in the bottom, and they're not. They will literally side hill the whole time. I'm
Really?
pretty sure the deer around here, when they are born, they have one side shorter than the other. That way, they can just walk.
My
They're like mountain
we
goats.
the first time I ever drove through West Virginia, my dad told me that. We drove past a bunch of deer, and he looked over. They call me Pedro, and he goes, "Pedro, you know the deer in West Virginia, their legs on the right side are a little shorter than the left because they're walking on these mountains."
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
believed that till I was about 10.
yeah. I mean, as steep as it is, we're not as bad as West Virginia, but we got some pretty rough ones, and it's all public ground and cutovers, and it's just rough. You'll hear more people than you will turkeys for sure.
Hmm.
Are
Turkeys are
you
tight.
in? Go ahead.
I said, if you want to hunt a flat spot, come here. It's all a
Yeah.
flat spot.
I'm open. I'm open to any invitations when it comes to turkey hunting for sure.
Well, ours doesn't start till the 21st, so
Mine's
you're good to
27.
go. Yeah, I have Jersey's turkey pattern. We could talk it till we're blue in the face, but I have Saturdays, and for anybody out there who doesn't know, there's A, B, C, D, and E. A is the first week, Monday through Friday. B second week, C third week, and D is the fourth and fifth week. I have E's, which means I can hunt all the Saturdays. So I gotta hope my spots aren't blown out in the first 5 days.
Yeah, that's rough there.
It is. How many tags can you guys get over there?
We did have 5 for many years, which is a crazy amount of tags for the
Yeah.
amount of hunters we have. And they just changed it up 2 year ago, 2 years or last year. They pushed the season back, and then they went to 4 turkeys per person. And I wish they'd go down to 3. And I wish, I hate to say it, but I wish people would go crappie fishing or bass fishing instead of dang turkey hunting.
Yeah, I think in Jersey you can kill upwards of 7,
Whew.
and I think that's a lot. I
Yeah,
think we should have a 2 bird limit, especially with the season dynamic we
I
have.
can't see anybody taking 7 now.
I know a couple. I know 1 or 2 guys
I
that will
think
get
I
their
could think of
7.
one.
Yeah, I mean, and it's no. I have nothing against it because the state's telling you can go do it.
yeah.
You're within the law. It's just, in my opinion, I think it should be a 2 bird season.
I wouldn't get all 7 off the same property. That's not a good idea. You know what I mean? It's if all I had was 1 property, then yeah, 2. I'm gonna get my fill, and because I know what's I got to hunt the next year, and I got to hunt the next year, and that kind of stuff, just like deer and
Yeah.
anything else. Uh, but yeah, if there's been many years I've limited out over Mississippi, which is a 3 bird limit. Uh, but I've taken them different spots. I know not to take them off the same spot. And there's people out there that kill kill their 3 turkeys. Their kids will kill their 3 turkeys. Call their cousins kill their 3 turkeys, all on 1,000 acres. And then they're like, "Where's all the turkeys?" And then they'll
Yeah.
start coming to your place and wanting to do the same stuff. So, uh, it, you know, it's rough. And ain't no telling how many turkeys you're getting killed that's not getting tagged or actually reported. So that's
So
another thing. You'll never know.
I don't know if you looked into it or not. Did they give you a reason why they pushed the season back? Because everything I've heard is what I've heard and what I've read on is if you're hunting the beginning of their season and you take out that tom, say it's a group of 5 birds, 2 toms and 3 jakes, you take out that lead Tom, it takes them about a week or so to regain the hierarchy in that bachelor group. Is
Yep.
that was there a reason they is that the kind of the reason they gave for pushing the season back or
Not specifically that reason, or that wasn't told me that makes sense. But I think just because the amount of hunters, all the prescribed berms they have down here, the way our weather is, I think they just wanted to give them a little bit more of a chance, just to breed more hens.
okay.
Uh, and pretty much because we're so day one out here, we're just knocking them, putting the hammer down on them, and people slap full of just everybody, you know, killed a crap ton of them, and I think they're just trying to give them a little bit of break,
Give them
and
a
let them
little bit
breed.
of breathing room.
Yeah, let them breed a little bit longer. Uh, so we've had an awesome year this year with all the acorns. I'm sure y'all had a big acorn crop up there.
Yep.
I would assume. Uh,
Hmm. Yeah, we had a really good fall in the spring, and this spring we're dropping a lot right now.
yeah. So
It got warm quick too.
my predictions for deer and turkey and pretty much every bit of wildlife. At least turkeys, I'd say in 3 years here in Alabama with that big bumper crop we had, there's going to be a lot of gobbling.
You think
Because
so?
oh yeah, the hens are going to be healthier, and the toms are healthier, which means that everything else is going to be healthier, all the offspring and everything. So I think, uh, and it's already good and hot down here, so I think it's going to be a good hatch this year.
Now
In
with
my
the prescribed burns they're doing, are they doing that for turkey like restoration or because I know one of the biggest problems nationwide wherever you go is hatching grounds. These hens are losing the environment they need to hatch their eggs or the right environment.
Yeah, they're doing it for habitat control. Just simply clearing all the land and getting all the brush out of there. And they're doing it for turkeys, but there's a lot of arguments, and I'm kind of on the fence about it of their timing, because I think
Gotcha.
some of the hens are you know into February they're probably already making nests.
Yeah.
Depends on what kind of
Yeah. I mean I'm assuming down there where it's hot out, I would have to assume when you start getting in the 50s, 50, 60-degree weather, them hens are looking to shack up.
Yep, they are. So you'll have those early ones. Uh, I agree with it, but I don't. I mean, you're just cutting hairs to me.
Yeah.
It's hard to, you'll never know the real statistics or anything like that. But I do agree with the state of kind of pushing it back a little bit. Just give them a little bit extra breathing room,
Hmm.
and getting some more breeding in.
Yeah.
So, the future be better. So, but man, I love hunting prescribed burn. If you got a burn on your place in this turkey season, that's where you need to be hunting at.
Now what? Because of the fresh undergrowth.
Yep, fresh undergrow. They can go scratch around. One thing they can see everything. It's very hard to hunt in a prescribed burn because you stick out like a sore thumb, and they can see a long ways. But I mean, they're all their food's cooked now, all the bugs and everything else. They got roasted, spiders and roasted chicken and everything else.
I
So
never thought about that.
yeah,
No, I
they
think the
get
only
everything.
thing we have is unprescribed burns, and usually somebody's getting in trouble after that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody flicked old Marlboro Red out the window.
Yeah. That's what happened. If they burned up 355 acres last year.
There was that, and I saw the on ramp when we had the drought last year. There was an on ramp off the highway that was all on fire because somebody threw their cigarette out the window. The whole
Hmm.
thing was on fire.
Oh man,
Yeah. I never heard of it actually being a problem until like 2 years ago when we had our drought.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I think we're gonna have a drought down here this year. We've
it's gonna
already
be
had
a hot year. I think it's
It's
gonna be
going to
a
be a really hot
hot
year.
year.
Yeah.
We're
we've
already
already
we're
had
about to hit 90 already for the first time, and we're quite a bit north of you.
Yeah, we hit 86 or 87 a day here, and then we've had a consistent few days of that, and it's rough.
Yeah.
So
That's what he said. We're supposed to hit 85 in a couple days,
We
and
should not be hitting 90 already.
yeah,
I'm not ready for it.
87 on Wednesday or something like that.
our hottest time down here, and for fires and all that, is July and August, and I'm
Hmm.
sure it's the same way up there. But we've
Yep.
already had statewide for Mississippi and Alabama burn bans for like 2 weeks in a row.
This
Uh,
early.
yeah, this early is insane. Uh,
So what I did notice is I don't know if it's kind of the same down there. We get our rainy season like now, end of March through April, and we may have gotten 4 inches of rain so far, which is not a lot where we are.
It's the same way down here. This time last year, I don't know how many inches we had, but it was like every other day. It was all day, every day, just rain, rain, rain. The crops couldn't get in. My brother-in-law and them that farm cotton and corn and soybeans and all that were just having horrible time trying to get this stuff in the ground. And this year, they have no problem getting it in, but I have a feeling with the lack of rain so far that they're going to have issues down the road with it.
Now, I got a dumb question that I don't think I've ever gotten a chance to ask. This might be a really dumb question.
I'm excited.
Can you hunt anything over a cotton field?
Yeah.
Like what?
If it flies, it dies. If it crawls,
Let's go.
No.
Everything's on the table.
What I mean, not what. So I'm assuming you guys got peanuts where you're at.
Not here in Alabama or Mississippi. Our neighbors in Georgia, that's their thing is peanuts.
Okay, so I'll switch to beans then. So we get a lot of beans up here. I'd say we got a pretty good 50-50 split between corn and beans. That's about what we grow. Are you can say, oh, them deer hitting the bean fields real hard. Do you ever compare that to a cotton field? Oh, the turkeys are in the cotton field real thick today.
No.
That's more or less what I mean.
Oh, yeah. No, I never really paid attention to the comparison. It's cotton. I've killed a few deer in some cotton fields, but it wasn't. I think they were just going through the cotton fields.
Okay. I know they can't. Obviously, nothing can eat the cotton. I just didn't know if there was any undergrowth, any bugs, anything like that may attract anything.
No, not around here.
I'm gonna get some DMs after this one.
Yeah, they got some stuff that's gonna kill all that stuff underneath.
Okay.
You can pretty much eat off the ground under a cotton tree around here or cotton.
Okay. Yeah, I'd never been around a cotton field, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, I knew for anybody that's typing in their phones, I know deer can't eat cotton. I get that.
Well, you can eat the seeds from cotton. We feed our cattle cotton seeds.
Yeah. We get a custom 20% feeder mix that has cotton seed in it.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Yep.
So,
you got anything else you want to talk about, Josh? We covered a bunch in this episode. We had a good time.
Yeah. I'm anytime you need me, I'm here. Not that I can think of, just whatever y'all got. I'm good. Hopefully I didn't talk too much.
You talked just the right amount.
Yeah, this was fun.
I felt like I was speeding up a little bit because I didn't know what kind of time frame we were. But thanks for the invite. Thanks for having me on the podcast. I'll promote you guys, all I can. If y'all do the same for me, I'm Facebook, Instagram, of course.
You want to shout all your stuff out?
Yeah.
All your handles?
I think that's what he was trying to do.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I wasn't trying, but I was like, I don't know if they want to plug anything.
Well, now you can try. Plug it all.
Yeah, plug it all.
We'll plug it now. So if you want to follow me, you can follow me at Honeysuckle Outdoors. YouTube is my main one. TikTok will be second, then Instagram and Facebook. I don't have a lot of followers, and I don't expect a lot, but, I try to keep it updated as much as I can. And any follow I get, I highly appreciate it. Any ideas or any comments you can give me as far as what y'all want to see out there, just let me know. And I'll be glad to help. And, if you want to go get a squirrel dog, call me. I'll walk you through it and tell you what I did.
Please don't tempt me.
Yeah.
I have thought about it so many times.
Yeah, it's fun. It's the best thing, especially if you got youngins or, I was big into deer hunting. And I got tired of just sitting there looking at spikes and little ones and freezing my tail off.
Yeah.
And coming to squirrel dog, it was like I can be out in the woods with a shotgun, 10 people, maybe some cold pops, kids, and we can buy their shotguns and no camouflage, just wear regular clothes and be warm and have a good time. And when I started doing that, it's hard to go back to deer hunting, just sitting around.
Yeah, I said the same when I started goose hunting.
Oh yeah. I can't get into duck hunting yet because it's too much money around here.
Yeah.
All we got is wood ducks.
Yeah.
Anyways. So.
But Josh, we really. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good. I can't even remember what I was saying now, so we'll just cut that out.
Well, yeah, we'll definitely have to have you back on again.
Yeah,
It's
man.
been a really good time. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate
See you guys next week.
See you.
Let me end it on here real quick.
it. Good.
1 second.
The video thing gets a little funky because we're doing it on a phone.
Oh yeah.